quarter. It just felt like they had a lot of the momentum all night.
And that was the two-pointer. 14,
obviously, once 58 seconds ran by, felt a lot better.
O'Brien for 30.
I love the way that our kids
battled
and fought and stayed together.
I was like, that was amazing down on the sidelines in the corner.
Our starters that we try to get off of special teams every once in a while, coach put me on, right? So to know that they know the situation that they have to go on to make sure that we get a play, that was really good to see as well, the leadership. Just being sound. They're very aggressive up front on their offense and defensive lines. I think that's their most talented group, really. I know that their skill guys are really, really good, but their two DNs are very aggressive, very good, very fast and physical. Offensive line, same thing, fast and physical. So we just got to play well up front. Same message I've told you for the last 4 weeks. If we can play well up front, everything else I think takes care of itself.
As he continues to move along with his undefeated Panthers here tonight, trying to defend their home turf. Last week, again, that scintillating 38-35 victory on the road at Westminster. The only time they trailed was later in that fourth quarter at 35-31, and again won it with just 58 ticks left to go on a 4th down and 4 pass play from Isaiah Stevens to Carson Kellogg. That was part of Stevens' 4-touchdown pass night. He threw for 299 yards in the win. Bentley Hansen, Ted, as you witnessed, started the scoring off with a 79-yard touchdown reception. He would add a 35-yarder. Owen O'Brien added a 30-yarder, which was a neat one in the right corner of the end zone, although West Muskingum outgained New Lexington in total yards in the game.
Yeah, all three of those guys you mentioned, Hansen, Spicer, O'Brien, you have to account for all three of those when they're on the field together because any one of those three can make plays. But I think the key to this one tonight, really, Hank, is going to be the Panther defense's ability to contain Max Lyle in the pocket. Jake Anton a week ago hurt them every time they flushed him from the pocket. He hurt him with his arm while on the run. And so that's going to be key tonight because Max Lyle can do the same type of things, and he's got a couple receivers out wide that are very big and dynamic playmakers, Keaton Hahn and Ryan LaMonica, 6'3" and 6'4" respectively. So New Lexington really has their hands full defensively, and I think it starts with keeping Max Lyle in the pocket. Force him to make throws from inside the pocket.
And how great has Isaiah Stevens been for New Lexington with 13 touchdown passes and no interceptions coming in? Max Lyle basically can say the same thing, 12 touchdown passes, no interceptions coming in. He threw 3 last week in the 65-0 win over Morgan, just 143 yards, didn't need it for the full game as that was a running clock, all that in the first half. Jaden Wallace, what a running back talent he is, 110 yards and 3 touchdowns in that game. You mentioned Hahn, 2 touchdown catches of 79 and 9 yards out, and Ryan LaMonica, a 43-yard strike off the pass from Lyle in the win.
Yeah, this New Lexington defense, even though they gave up a lot of points last week, they really did a good job containing New Lexington's downhill running game. And you're going to see a lot of downhill running from Jaden Wallace here tonight. So it all starts on the defensive side of the ball for New Lexington. I don't think either one of these teams are going to struggle to score points. Just who can slow down the other enough.
Tri-Valley outgained Morgan 400-66 a week ago. What will they do defensively to start tonight? Because New Lexington starts off with the football after a touchback as we are underway again here at Rockwell Stadium. You're live streaming on South 60 Films. Glad to be a part of our Friday night. 90 degrees here at kickoff, another hot September evening.
You mentioned the playoff positioning for these two teams. New Lexington currently 3rd in their region, region 15 rather. Tri-Valley sits 5th in region 11. So big time playoff points on the line here at Jim Rockwell tonight.
Tri-Valley, you mentioned, 5th in Division III Region 11. Columbus, Watterson, Athens, Steubenville, Dover just ahead of them. Meanwhile, New Lexington sitting 3rd over there in D4 Region 15. Only a couple teams in front of them at this particular moment as they try to work their way up. 1st down and 10. You see the field is spread. 4 receivers. Carson Kellogg moves from a slot position into the backfield, gets the handoff. Big hole up the middle, nearly runs for a 1st down out near the 30.
Excellent play call on 1st down by Kevin Board. That'll give him 9. Big hole to run through Carson Kellogg had right there. And that New Lexington offensive line opened up a gigantic hole for Kellogg to run through.
New Lexington only is behind Indian Valley and St. Clairsville in the rankings in Division IV Region 15. And here you see on 2nd down and 1, you have late flags after a loss on this play. But let's check the hankies. Whitehead, it appears like they're marking this one off on Tri-Valley. A 15-yard penalty variety.
Wow.
A big one. So your first down comes off of a penalty by the Scotties.
And this Tri-Valley defense is no joke, coming in allowing just a shade over 6 points a ball game, and they've played some good competition.
Something's got to give. New Lexington averages just a shade under 40 per contest offensively. Both these teams very stout on defense and can light up the scoreboard on offense. We expect a great game for 4 quarters. Here out of the shotgun, pitching it to the right. Kellogg is dropped for a loss, back behind the 45 at the 44.
Cam Carnes on the tackle for loss for the Tri-Valley Scotties. He blew up that play in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of 2 on that one, Hank. But getting set behind the chains is often a problem for high school teams. Not so much for New Lexington, as they have plays all over the field that can yield big yardage at any time.
So now New Lexington's offense set in a second and long situation for the first time here in the evening. Just a minute elapsed. Opening quarter of a scoreless game. Panthers with the ball first. Kellogg, slot left, comes right, high snap, somehow corralled by Stevens, and he pitches this one forward for a gain of 2 back to the original line of scrimmage at the 46. Dangerous play there.
That was. It appeared that a Tri-Valley defender had a hold of the headgear, but no flag on that one. That's going to bring up a 3rd and long. 3rd and 11 officially. Big down and distance for both squads here in the first drive.
That was junior Owen O'Brien getting the pitch, and they'll give him just a yard to the 45, so 3rd and 11, they'll call it. More penalty markers stopping play.
It's going to be a false start on Bodie Decor, the left tackle for the New Lexington Panthers.
Both teams feeling each other out. You've seen a lot of flags here at the outset of this contest. That'll push New Lexington back near the 40 where the pigskin will lie. 3rd down, nearly 16 needed for a first down. Got to get over the Tri-Valley 44-yard line to move the sticks. Looking to pass. Stevens got time, protection, deep downfield, overthrown and incomplete. A Scotty defender was the closest one near the 20.
He was targeting junior Harrison Ratliff on that one, was Stevens, but well overthrown. And now it's going to bring up a punting situation for the Panthers.
So the Panthers get 1 first down, aided by a penalty on the Scotty defense. And now they'll have to kick this one away. 10:04 left to go, opening quarter.
We're going to get a look at this high-powered Scotty offense.
I've seen New Lexington, obviously. This will be the 3rd time for me, Ted. 2nd for you. And our first chance to see the Scotties in action. Fielded off the bounce at the 20. Bouncing it outside, a run back of about 11 to the 31-yard line, so the Dogs will set up with decent field position after the return.
Absolutely, outstanding field position. That was Carter Dinan on the return for the Scotties. As you mentioned, sets them up in great field position right around the 30-yard line.
So here's that explosive Tri-Valley offense. They average over 38 points a game. Defensively, New Lexington pretty stout themselves, however, giving up 16 points a game. A little bit inflated last week's 35-point give up to the Tornadoes.
But this Scotty team has been tested through the first 4 weeks far more than this Panthers team has.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, a 1-point win for Tri-Valley at home against Clinton Massey. What a game that was, down late into the 4th quarter. Here's a flea flick, downfield pass. It's caught with interference. Ball's on the deck, on the turf, so to speak, and recovered by the Scotties at the 22-yard line. So this play should stand, Ted, as the receiver was contacted and made that contested play.
It appears so. That was Bentley Hansen trying to catch up in coverage. His man got behind him.
That was Ryan LaMonica, the 6'3" senior with the catch.
And not only is Ryan LaMonica and Keaton Hahn really tall, athletic kids, they can jump. They have great jumping ability. So for guys like Hansen at 5'11" and the other cover corners for New Lexington, you're going to give up size for sure. So you can't get beat in phase, which is what Hansen got beat in phase, and let his man get behind him there.
LaMonica actually a junior. Regardless, tremendous catch in traffic as he was interfered with. Look over the sidelines of Coach Cam West in his 5th year. Sports an overall record of 38-10 as he starts his 5th year here, out 4-0 out the chute. Here's a handoff. Jaden Wallace, the senior back, do it all, everything for this team in the backfield. Will get tackled at about the 19 as he'll pick up maybe 3 short yards. Wallace went over 100 yards last week in the win over Morgan, 110 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. Sat out the opener this year in the win over Meadowbrook, has looked great ever since. 2nd down and 7. 4 receivers, 2 each direction. Wallace remains the deep back with Lyle working out of the gun. Shifting in the backfield, 3 minutes plus gone by. Opening quarter, Tri-Valley looking to score. End zone pass, Lyle LaMonica, yep, you can ring it up. Touchdown, Scotties. 8:50 left to go first quarter. They go downfield 69 yards in a hurry.
Yeah, that was too easy for the Scotties. If New Lexington wants to hang around, they're going to really have to tighten up that defense. LaMonica, as you can see on the replay, had no one around him. Uncontested catch in the corner of the end zone, and 6-0 Scotties just like that.
Lyle to LaMonica, get used to that all year long, yet again.
And just when you think you only have to deal with them, then they'll start sprinkling in Cade Heindel, who's also very, very explosive out of the slot.
Extra point on the way. The kick by the lefty is no good as he hooked it to the right. It took the guys in the stripes an extra moment to decide on that, and it remains 6-0 Scotties. So I guess take it for what it's worth. New Lexington will take it.
Hey, you never know. It could loom large. As you're speaking with some locals here before the game, their place kicker is closing in on 100 consecutive PAT makes, which is very impressive at the high school level.
A missed kick was Bodie McCullough, the senior. Busy week last week, 9 for 9 on extra points, missed fires on his first here. However, Tri-Valley looking every bit the real deal as they go down the field in just several plays. About 3 plays is all it took for them to cash in a touchdown of a 69-yard drive.
You mentioned Cam West, the head coach, his success, and since he's began 38-10, just an outstanding mark. But thinking back to when this Tri-Valley run all started under Justin Buttermore, when Justin Buttermore first arrived, that was his first quarterback, Cam West. So
yeah.
It's no surprise that he knows exactly what it takes to continue the Scotty tradition.
Oh, a couple decades ago when we were getting going, witnessing Cam do his thing as the signal caller for him.
Cam West to Wade Warner, that connection was lethal.
Yeah, these Scotties have quite the tradition the last few decades, and it all started with Coach Buttermore, who's obviously moved on, and the bigger, better pastures from Granville, now coaching in the Columbus area. And here's the run back for the Panthers, and they're going to be stopped shy of the 20, just cresting to about the 15-yard line.
Miles Wilson on the run back for New Lexington seemed a little indecisive in that run back. Nevertheless, that's going to set up New Lexington all the way back inside their 20.
You're listening to the official streaming partner of New Lexington Athletics right here on South 60 Films. Next game will not be for 3 weeks. The next home game for New Lexington when they take on the Meadowbrook Colts on October 11, and then their home finale October 18 against the rival Crooksville Ceramics. Let's see what New Lexington does here on their second possession from the 15. High snap over the head of Stevens. Stevens able to get it, fortunately, and fires to a receiver at the 10-yard line. Nice move just to get it back to line of scrimmage as Tyson Spicer was able to somehow make something almost out of nothing.
Yeah, he sure did. He only just lost about a yard, and Spicer gets up off the turf limping, which is not a good sign for New Lexington. There's also a Scotty down on the field, Kaysen Baker.
Junior outside linebacker down for Tri-Valley, looking at the right calf to knee area. Another player down in the same range as Spicer over at about the 14-yard line as well. So we had lots of cramping when the temperatures are this warm. When Doug and I called the first home game 3 weeks ago, Ted, obviously it's been the sign of the times in September, and basically all summer long we've got this mega drought going on, and so wouldn't be surprised if we see cramping here, and that would be a good thing.
Let's hope that's all it is, as both players able to get up to their feet and walk out under their own power. Which Tyson Spicer, just a sophomore, but he's electric in the open field with the football in his hands, and that's one guy the Panthers rely on week in and week out.
Spicer, 40, trying to cut across and then sliding down, losing his footing at the 42-yard line was the return man for the Dogs in Carter Dinan.
And that's about the best you could hope for. That was about a 45-yard net punt, even after the return for New Lexington. So great job of getting that football out and getting some topspin on it, having it bounce forward.
Goes down as a 42-yard punt in the books. The ball placed at the 42 for Tri-Valley's offensive possession number 2. 7:39 left to go in our first quarter. This could be danger time. I hate to say it already, New Lexington fans, if Tri-Valley puts one in here. A lot of football to go. Let's see if the defense stiffens up. Handoff, Wallace up the middle, and he gets near midfield where he's thrown down at the 49 of Tri-Valley for 7 yards.
Just an extremely hard runner in between the tackles. This Jaden Wallace. Took a trio of Panthers to bring him down on that one. He still gained 7 yards on first down.
Second down 3. Scotty offense been humming along so far. Will they continue it? It's a pitch now to the right to Wallace. Wallace to the corner, and he's got it easily. Thrown out of bounds. That's a horse collar, it appears, at the Tri-Valley, or checked out the New Lexington 41-yard line.
I think they're going to get him for a face mask right in front of the official.
It's going to be a first down run for Wallace regardless of about 10.
Yep.
And there's going to be additional yardage added to it. This flag's no doubt on New Lexington of what type of variety they confer about it.
Yeah, I saw the face mask was grabbed of Wallace and his head was turned.
Clock stops, 7:06 left to go, first quarter. 6-0 Dogs you see at the bottom of your screen. Glad you can tune in on this Friday here in late September. And there's your personal foul face mask on Tri-Valley. So stand corrected.
Wow.
We do have the access of instant replay if we could even pop that one more time, potentially before the next play would run. So that shoots the Dogs in the foot, and they'll go back deeper in their own territory.
That's something New Lexington desperately needed, a break they needed. But it's still a spot foul, so it's still only 2nd and 8 for the Scotty Dogs.
And have a chance here about the run of play, so no replay on that. Out of the gun here again, Lyles. They spread the field. Tri-Valley's been accustomed to doing this for decades. 5 wide, 3 to the left. Looking to pass. Plenty of time. Protection across the middle. Pass on that slant. Incomplete. Thrown maybe a little behind the receiver at the New Lexington 49.
Looking for Case Burkhardt on a crossing route. New Lexington had that well defended. Timed that up well. 3rd and 8 now for the Scotties. Huge down here for the New Lexington defense.
Burkhardt, one of many seniors on this Tri-Valley senior-laden squad. Unable to catch that. Let's see if that Panther defense drops back. Will they apply the pressure on 3rd and 8?
Number 53 for New Lexington, Nicholas Finley, plays defensive end, sometimes linebacker. This guy created havoc for West Muskingum last week. He was everywhere on the defensive side of the ball.
38-35 shootout winning down the stretch for the Panthers. Here we go, 3rd and 8. Plenty of time, deep pass, 1-on-1 downfield, and LaMonica was the target, and it's incomplete at the Panther 20-yard line. Well defended by Bentley Hansen.
Broken up there by Bentley Hansen, widely considered the best cover corner in the MVL. He comes up limping a little bit.
Hopefully that will not curtail his night after that great defensive play. He's almost down to his knees, favoring a lower leg injury of some sort. 4th and 8 for the Dogs. Hansen's going to stay on. It appears to try to be the return man. At his own 26, they're shouting for him to get down, to get off the field, and that's what's going to happen. Coach Board's going to have to come out and take a look. Not a good sight right now for New Lexington fans.
It appears this may be a cramp here, Hank.
So they'll tend to Hansen with 6:56 to go. And again, you hope that would be the case. Hansen, unbelievable year going yet again. It seems like each and every week all he does is catch a couple touchdown passes, and he's always threatening or going over the 100-yard mark receiving.
He's an outstanding athlete, is Bentley Hansen. A lot of fun watching him.
Oh, on the basketball floor, we'll get a chance come this winter, and when we get to January, February, and hopefully deep into March. What a team they had last year in a run we got to witness.
You know, and last week a lot of familiar faces on this football team, recognized from last winter. Not only Hansen and Stevens, but Eli Stevens, Lane Ratliff, Malachi Thresher, Paul Stinson. They're, if you're a student at New Lexington, you pretty much play football and basketball.
So that class of athletes, and some of these are sophomores that you're mentioning as well. So they got quite a class of sophomores with quite a class of seniors. So Hansen being helped off, not in our camera view for you. Ted and I witnessing it up here on the top of the press box. And we'll hope Hansen is able to make a speedy recovery and return to this game. Meanwhile, back to action. They blow the whistle. Tri-Valley's going to punt it away for the first time here tonight. As back is Owen O'Brien for the Panthers to wait this punt. Pressure, able to get off a deep, high, booming kick. Right through O'Brien's bread basket on the turf, and Tri-Valley has got the first turnover tonight to go their way.
Just absolute disaster for New Lexington, unable to field that punt. Here we're going to get a second look at it. I don't think Owen O'Brien was expected to be back there. He's put back there at the last minute due to the Bentley Hansen exit, and was just unable to field that one. And a couple Scotties right there to fall on it.
Well, Unfortunate break, obviously, for New Lexington, but here's the thing, Bentley Hansen, usually the return man, he just came out, obviously, could be cramping, so O'Brien put in a tough spot. He is a receiver. He's usually got good hands, but, hey, the pressure's a little bit differently there, and he turned it over.
Tyson Spicer also walking around the sidelines without his helmet on, so 2 key pieces for New Lexington off the field right now.
So big trouble for New Lexington with their offensive weapons. On the defensive side of the ball, they held Tri-Valley last time to a punt. They got to do something here again to keep the score within striking distance in this first quarter. And the first run goes for a good gain for Wallace of nearly 7.
You'd like to hold them to a field goal attempt here, but I'm not sure this isn't 4-down territory for the Scotties.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 17. They'll give Wallace 6 to the 11. 2nd down 4. Can pick up a first down without a touchdown at the Panthers 7. Here's Lyle, handing back off the Wallace. The workhorse, big hole, left sideline, bowls over defender and bowls it in the end zone for a touchdown with ease. Jaden Wallace now makes it 12-0 Scotties.
Scotties flexing their muscle here early in the first quarter, Hank. We're going to get a look at it, Jaden Wallace had one defender in between him and the goal line. He just promptly ran over that defender, which I think was Owen O'Brien, the player who just fumbled the punt.
So Wallace now extends to a 2-score lead for Tri-Valley, and he did it with authority there, Ted, as you saw in that run. On for the extra point is, again, the left-footed kicker. This time it's straight, deep enough, and true enough. And it's 13-0 Scotties as McCullough makes amends. 1 for 2 on PATs. As we near the midway point here at 6:05 left to go in our first quarter. It's all dogs right now at 13-0. They've scored on 2 of their first 3 offensive possessions. New Lexington, meanwhile, having difficulties. They have punted the ball away twice and turned it over and have 2 weapons out currently with some sort of injury.
Yeah, right now New Lexington really needs a long, time-consuming drive that ends in points. That would be ideal. Give your defense a little rest. Control the ball, control the clock here halfway through the first quarter, because another 3 and out, punting this football right back to Tri-Valley. I know we're only in the first quarter, but that could be big trouble.
3 plays, 69 yards on the Scotties' opening drive score, just 2 plays and a short field 17 yards after the turnover there on a pair of Jaden Wallace runs, capped off by the 11-yard score on the ground for Wallace. Last year, he annihilated this Panther team in the Scotty 38-8 win in Dresden. He went for 199 yards and 3 scores in that win a year ago in that trouncing.
Jaden Wallace tends to do that to a lot of teams.
Yes, he does. Here's your kick. Panthers got to bring it back. From the 2, up the middle, got an alley, 25, and stops right there immediately at the 26. That little hesitation, you kind of wonder if he kept bouncing it out, could he have taken it down the left sidelines?
We're going to get a second look at it here. That was Miles Wilson on the return, and he nearly fumbled this ball at the very end. You take a look,
well, you got a good seam there.
Right there. He had to re-grab it.
That rip.
He almost got stripped of the football right there at the end, which would have been absolute devastating for New Lexington.
So the Panthers very fortunate, hanging on to the football on the return. Here comes the offense with 4 receivers. I'm interested to see what the skill set players look like here as Spicer and Hansen banged up right now. It's a screen pass. You go to Kellogg. That's what you do. 30, 35, 40. And Kellogg going to be taken down there at about the 41 with the lunging dive. Panthers get their first real offensive first down as that goes for 15.
I love the play call by Kevin Board as the middle of the field really hurt West Muskingum. The screen plays across the middle just like that a week ago.
Quickly they run to Kellogg, and he'll pound it forward for only a yard to the 42, maybe the 43 at best with the spot. Tough run in here for the Panthers at the outset.
A hard-fought 1 yard for Carson Kellogg. They're going to give him 2 on that one. Call it 2nd and 8.
So you take a look at the numbers at wideout. You got Schwinnerman still in there at tight end. Then you got number 3, 22, and 16 are the numbers at wideout for the Panthers here. Lane Ratliff wears 16. They're not going to him. They'll go to Schwinnerman. Will Stevens to the right, and Stevens pass to Schwinnerman. He's dropped immediately after making the connection.
Great open field tackle by Kason Baker for the Tri-Valley Scotties. Stops that play in its tracks. 3rd and long for New Lexington.
So Miles Wilson wears 3 for the Panthers. Tanner Toth, 22 for New Lexington. So you got a lot of newcomers, or at least players out there for Coach Board that don't get a lot of reps here at the varsity level, playing some key action here in the first quarter. And now they face a 3rd down and 9 after the loss of 1. It's a screen. Kellogg slips out to the right. He caught it, and he's going to be short of the 1st down, however, as a Parascotti's getting him upfield.
It's going to bring up a 4th and 2. Very, very interesting call here early in the first quarter for Kevin Board. Do you want to play field position game, or do you want to get aggressive right here in the first quarter?
It appears
we got our answer.
Yeah, they're definitely going to go for it. We got the answer. They're lining up with 4 wide and Kellogg in the backfield to the left. Or check that. That's Kellogg in the slot left, as Schwinderman at tight end is on that left-hand side. As you have Stevens waiting the snap here. We're under 4 minutes to go, first quarter. High snap, able to get it. Stevens fires it, and that zip gets it to Kellogg at the 45. Kellogg very busy here in this first quarter, in particular this drive.
Great throw and catch from Stevens to Kellogg, but what we're seeing here is exclusively Carson Kellogg, whether they're handing it to him or passing him to him, then this Scotty defense is going to pick up on that really quick.
Huge conversion there on 4th down. Gain of 7 on the completion. Stevens pump fake left. Now jitterbugs to the right. He's wheeling and dealing, facing pressure. He's going to have to fire this one towards the sideline, incomplete. Might be grounding. Was it to the line of scrimmage or receiver near?
The referee's pointing that there was a receiver in the area, so no grounding. The receiver in the area was Lane Ratliff, we just spoke of a little while ago, sophomore wide receiver, defensive back.
Fortunate for Stevens in the offense, and also fortunate for New Lexington. You see Bentley Hansen back out there wearing 10. He's back out onto the field for 2nd down and 10.
I see Spicer down there trying to stretch out. I don't know if he's going to come back in this game or not, but he's making every attempt to.
4 receiver package. Kellogg the lone back in the backfield to the left of Stevens. In the slot left is Hansen. Looking his way. He caught it. Immediately involved. His leg looks great there, Ted. Inside the 25. First down, Panthers.
Bentley Hansen is electric when he gets the ball in his hands. You'll see here he was just a 1 tackler away from taking this one to the house.
20 yards for Hansen. Excellent there. You see the replay of it. Didn't appear to be hampered on that play for the first down. Deepest penetration of the night for New Lexington as they're threatening to get on the scoreboard, down 2 scores at 13-0. They'll hand to 13. Kellogg, big hole, 15, near the 10, stop short thereof. But a big rip by Kellogg is double-digit run and another Panther first down.
Panthers got some good flow going offensively right now. A great balance of run and pass, keeping the Tri-Valley defense really on their heels.
And so 3:06 left to go in our slow-moving first quarter. Very entertaining first quarter. It's been pretty much Tri-Valley to this point until this drive right now by the Panthers. Is they're really getting something going. In particular, again, just mentioned Carson Kellogg, and he just hits Tri-Valley for 12 more on the run.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of the start from a week ago where the Panthers jumped out 14-0 at West Muskingum. West Muskingum fought, battled back through the remaining 3.5 quarters and finally took a lead in the late stages of that 4th quarter. So New Lexington knows that they can claw their way back in this.
Let's see if they can finish it off with a score. Power eye, here you go. It's pistol look, and it's a handoff to Kellogg going nowhere. Going to lose yardage on this play. So Tri-Valley, after that quick timeout, smarted up, recognized what they might be doing. Kellogg's been getting a lot of the work on this drive.
That was yet another high snap. Isaiah Stevens was able to handle. His brother Eli's the one snapping him the football.
4 receivers set, 3 to the right. Kellogg now swings out of the backfield to the right, but looking across the middle of the field is Stevens incomplete for Schwinneman on a post route.
I think that was just a throwaway there, Hank. Nothing developed. I think he just threw it down at the feet of Schwinnerman and move on to play 3rd down.
Still yet to see Spicer come back out for New Lexington on offense. Clock stops at 2:26 after that incompletion. So now the Panthers facing a 3rd down at 11. Will be very interesting what type of play call you dial up if you're Coach Board here. Are you thinking 2 plays to get the score? Are you going to, see what happens, and then if it comes to 4th down, do you try to settle for 3 if the yardage is too much? Here we go. Back to pass, left side to the corner, nobody home as Stevens throws it harmlessly incomplete.
A little miscommunication between Stevens and Kellogg as Stevens threw the wheel route. Kellogg cut inside.
And now here you are. It's 4th and long. You can get a first down at about the 2-yard line, 2-yard line. What will you do if you're Coach Board? Do you try a 30-yard field goal and get on the board? It appears they might, as you see the special teams unit coming on. Got a really good kicker here in Barrowman. Tristan Barrowman for New Lex. Trying to cut it down to a 10-point deficit, unless there is deception in the kicking game, as Doug would say. Wait the snap, the hold, and the potential kick. First 2 down, 3rd one on the way with the kick. Is it left, wide left? I think it is from our vantage point, and it is. No good by Barrowman, and it remains a shutout for New Lexington on the scoreboard. Tri-Valley still up 13-0.
Plenty of leg, just a little wide left, and Panthers still unable to crack the scoreboard here at home tonight. Tri-Valley going to take over possession well inside their own territory at what appears to be the 14-yard line.
So the Panthers come up empty. They were looking so good on that drive and getting down to the Tri-Valley 11, and then got thwarted, missing the field goal just to get some sort of points on the board. Take some positives with it. Again, the negative, though, you're still down 13-0 right now with just over 2 minutes and change to go here in this opening quarter. Lyle back out there looking to fire away. Left side, down the sidelines. LaMonica slips deep. He caught it in stride at the 45 of New Lex. One man to beat. He's caught from behind at about the 21 of the Panthers. Wow, fireworks from Tri-Valley.
This offense just so dynamic. You got size, you got speed, you got skill, you got experience. This Tri-Valley team just has everything you would want in a high school football team, and they put all the pieces together here in the early season.
The market at the 22 of New Lexington, 48-yard pass play from Lyle to LaMonica. LaMonica scored the first touchdown of the game from 22 yards out. He continues his excellent night so far. Trips, bunched up, right side, wide receiver screen, it's caught. Has he moved at the 20 to the 15 and down near the 13 where a pair of Panthers are there. But good yardage near another Tri-Valley first down.
Cade Hindo on that reception for the Scotties. Just a little screen pass. Looked innocent, gained 8 yards. All of a sudden they're in 2nd and short. And they are knocking on the door of the goal line once again.
Panthers have not faced more than a 14-point deficit this year. It could be more if Tri-Valley converts. Here's Wallace with that pitch, trying to run around the left end, cuts it in, and gets to the 5, making it 1st and goal for the Dogs as his fluid running continues.
That was actually great contained by the Panther defense. We're going to get a second look at it here. You can see they force Wallace back inside where the help is. Wallace is just such a strong runner. He just runs through contact.
Scotty's knocking on the door for a 3rd score in this opening frame. Under a minute left to go. This drive started at the Panther 20-yard line after a missed 30-yard field goal by Barrowman. 4 down linemen bringing in all the backers to stop Wallace. Can't stop it. Can only hope to contain him. Jaden Wallace, touchdown. Hold on, though. Late flag comes in. Will the score count, or will it be pushed back for the Dogs and guilty of an infraction? They are.
Looks like initial indication is holding on Tri-Valley.
Huge penalty on Tri-Valley.
Because, trying to remain positive if you're New Lexington Panther. Hold them to 3 here. You're still only down 2 possessions.
Spot of the foul penalty, so it happened right about at the 1-yard line. They'll push it to the 11. So they'll redo 1st down and goal from there. Will the Tri-Valley Scotties offense? 48 ticks to go opening quarter. But all Dogs so far of the undefeated 4-0 teams here. Wallace gets the carry again and somehow scores free for a touchdown. And this one stands as he's jubilant in the paint, and it's now 19-0 Scotties.
Just very, very strong runner is Jaden Wallace. You'll see here contacted at the 6 and just continues to drive forward and tumbles into the end zone for his 2nd score of the night.
And his 2nd from 11 yards out here in this 1st quarter. Makes it 19-0, 42 seconds left as we wait the PAT try for point number 20 for Tri-Valley. Explosive and very impressive on both sides of the ball here in the first 12. High snap, snap is down, kick on the way, well deep enough and good. 2 out of 3 now for your kicker. in McCullough, and it's 20-0 Tri-Valley. 2 touchdowns on the ground from 11 yards out apiece from Wallace. You also had that 22-yard strike from Lyle, and LaMonica started the scoring, and that's how you stand like this, and the Panthers now face their biggest deficit of the season.
Yeah, they do. They're really going to have to get something working here on this offensive possession.
Well, you were hoping for a different type of game, kind of like a game like last week.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime you get a witness or call a game like that goes 38-35 down to the final minute to decide it, it's quite a classic. And right now, in order to be a classic, New Lexington's going to have to show up on both sides in the final 3 quarters.
Yeah, as I mentioned in the pregame, I firmly believe this Tri-Valley roster is as good as a team as they've ever had. You know, you still got to go out and play the games. But as far as talent, they have it. They have it at every position, and they have depth, and they have a lot of confidence right now. I think that win over Clinton Massey really, I think people around our area always knew how good Tri-Valley was, but I think around the state people took notice of that score 2 weeks ago.
That was a 14-13 win up in Dresden. Last week, of course, was 65-0 over Morgan. The first 2 games of the year was an easy one over Meadowbrook, 43-12, and 31-0 close to where I live at Licking Heights. Here's a run back for New Lexington, and they're going to be shy of the 20 again, so it doesn't seem to matter what's going on with the Panthers on offense, special teams, and the defense, obviously giving up 3 scores. Nothing's working for the Panthers.
And you'd like to get Tyson Spicer back on the field, but he remains on the sidelines, Hank. No helmet in sight. They're not taking him out of pads, but he's just kind of lingering around the sidelines without a helmet. Which doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't. You see Spicer down there. We look down. I look with you, and it doesn't appear Spicer's going to make a return, at least in this first half.
The way he's limping and holding it may be a groin injury, the way he's really trying to stretch that left groin out.
4 receivers without Spicer. Found his man in the sophomore Ratliff, and Ratliff will get it out past the 20 to the 23 where he's thrown down as he gets half the yards for a first.
And that play right there would typically go for a first down. This Tri-Valley defense just so fast to recover to the ball. And that was Cason Baker again on the tackles. It looked like that play was going to develop into something, and all of a sudden there was a Scotty there to make the play.
Just kind of swallowed in all of a sudden real quick by that suffocating defense of Tri-Valley. Could be your final play of the quarter. However, we do have flags. So we'll wait a moment with 5 seconds left. Check this penalty before we run a snap. It's on the Panthers for a false start. Pushes them back 5 more yards.
We see big Ryan LaMonica playing strong safety for Tri-Valley. How big of a luxury is it to have a 6'3" strong safety in high school?
Absolute luxury, no doubt about it. Something that Doug wished he had probably at Crooksville. We know this.
Because he's as fast and athletic as anyone on the field. He's just bigger. It's just such an advantage.
Panthers don't have to run a play as they start the clock once they place it into the first quarter. Here at Jim Rockwell Stadium, it's all Scotties shutting out the Panthers at this point. 20-0. Back with the second quarter right after this on South 60 Films. Lexington will come out firing to start the quarter. What a pass play downfield as Stevens found Ratliff at the 41-yard line to move the chains.
Let's take another look at this one, Hank. Lane Ratliff goes up, high points that football, takes the contact, keeps control of the football. You know that name, Ratliff. It's a familiar
Oh.
one here in New Lexington. Both of his older brothers playing football at Marietta.
So the Panthers finished the first quarter with a penalty. Things were looking bleak again. Not so much to start the quarter with that pass play. Their biggest pass play so far of the evening as they try to threaten to get points this time around. Last time they had the ball, we saw them. They drove down to the Tri-Valley 11 and got turned back, missing a 30-yard field goal. Can they get off the schneid this go-round? At the 44-yard line after 3 on first. Second down 7 is Kellogg's to the right as they wait the snap. Here with the play call from Coach Board. 3 receivers, 2 to the right. Now there goes Carson slipping out again to the right. Short side of the field, and it goes to Schwinneman, the tight end, for a dump off across the middle. And look at Schwinneman go, bouncing forward with power for a first down.
Finally, some life into this New Lexington offense as their playmakers starting to make plays with the football.
Look at that replay right here. He would not be denied until he got to the Tri-Valley 44. Move those chains from one 44-yard line to the other. Gain of 12. Hanson in motion, right to left. Stevens looks that way, now looking middle, now looking to run. He's got juice in those legs, and first time we've seen him really scamper out, and he gets out to the 36 of Tri-Valley.
He did a lot of damage a week ago with his legs at West Muskingum, but as you mentioned, Hank, first time we've seen him leave the pocket here tonight. Stevens, 6'1", 180 pounds, is a big athletic quarterback and has the ability to make plays with his feet.
So Stevens, 299 yards passing, 4 touchdowns last week against West. 2 weeks ago, Doug and I witnessed him go for 75 yards on the ground, including a 19-yard score, did Stevens in the 30-0 shutout of the Raiders. He definitely can run. He's a multi-dimensional player. And here you see a close play for a first down, depends upon the spot on second down.
Fans here at the Rock don't like the spot. I kind of agree with them. It's going to be 3rd and short.
It's a 3rd and inches. Handoff, Kellogg gets it, and he's got the first down with ease as he's flung down at the 32-yard line. Move those markers.
The Panthers desperately need to put some points on the board on this drive right here.
Darkness about to set in, sunset falling upon us as we're about 7:45. Lose about 2 minutes of daylight each day going forward. 4 receivers to each side. Stevens, plenty of time. Now flushed and throws backside. Kellogg downfield, one-on-one. Flags fly for interference as Kellogg couldn't catch it at the 11.
They're going to get Cam Carnes on the defensive pass interference against Tri-Valley as he was close in coverage. I mean, this was a bang-bang play. We're going to get a second look right here, Hank. Stevens saw Kellogg releasing. I mean, that was close. Good tight coverage if you're a Tri-Valley fan, but it's pass interference if you're a New Lexington fan.
Carson Kellogg is very sneaky, crafty out of the backfield. 3 catches, 44 yards, led New Lexington in receiving in a rain-soaked night against Morgan 2 weeks ago. Last week, of course, he got the game winner on 4th and 4 for a 6-yard score with under a minute to go to beat the Tornadoes that you witnessed. Kellogg to the left in the backfield here. 3 receivers. They're all going to be, actually 4 receivers, 3 to the left. High snap. Really, they're having lots of problems with that, and Steele's able to jump on it for a big loss.
It's puzzling. That's been an issue the entire first half here. Stevens has been able to use his athletic.
For a loss as he's thrown for a sack.
53 there to make the play for Tri-Valley. Chris Gargaze again. Called his name once already.
It's a big loss. Stevens dropped for a 7-yard loss to the 11. You know, you think Coach Board, what just happened moments ago in the play prior to that, Stevens really getting it going, running the football. Went back to him. 1 time too many right there. Tri-Valley read it. Back to the air game. Passing, slant, caught. Can he get a touchdown? No. Down at the 2-yard line off that completed pass as the Panthers knock on the door.
Tanner Toth on the reception for New Lexington as Bentley Hanson was not on the field for that play, Hank. I was looking for 10 and I didn't see him out there.
Hanson made the brief return. Made a nice catch of 20 yards towards the tail end of the first quarter. Like you said,
There he comes.
is out of the game right now. Look at this line. Look at this formation. Panthers come out with a lot of quirky looks. This is one of them. Kellogg, the deep back. Fake to him. Stevens fires, got him in. Touchdown, New Lexington. It worked.
Backfield, not typically an offensive threat is Stinson, but they used him there as they're running short on skill players with Hanson and Spicer both banged up in this one.
And so the Panthers are off the schneid. No more goose egg. 20-6. It appears they might line up to go for 2 and try to make it a 20-8 game.
It'll be interesting to see what they do on the kickoff. A week ago, they used a variety of different kickoffs to try to keep West Muskingum off balance. So curious to see if they do the same thing tonight.
3 receivers. Kellogg the deep back. Fake to him. Pass it again. Left side. And it's caught. It appears with a flag to Schwinderman. Check it. If it's on Tri-Valley, put 2 more on the board for the Panthers. As Schwinderman caught that one prior to falling out of the back of that end zone on the side.
Just wonder which is the guilty party, offense or defense here.
Appears they're walking New Lexington, but they're pointing Tri-Valley. Let's see. Panthers guilty. Is that a legal substitution? I believe was the indication.
Yes, so that's going to move it back to the 7. See if that changes Kevin Board's mind on what to do, and it seems to have, as he seems to be sending the extra point unit out, the field goal team.
So take off the 2 with the penalty. It could be 20-8. Instead, it remains 20-6. Now a chance to just trim it to 20-7. Behrman on for the longer PAT kick after the penalty. It'll be 25-yard variety. On the way towards that left upright, and it snuck through. 20-7. New Lexington on the board with 7:37 left to go here in our first half. We might have a ball game here after all. That was a huge answer by the home team.
Desperately needed score for the home team, and not only did they score, they look real comfortable and confident doing so. So let's see if they can come out defensively and do anything to stop the momentum of this Tri-Valley offense, as they have seemed to do whatever they want in this first half so far, whether it's been Jaden Wallace between the tackles or the downfield passing from Lyle to his quartet of receivers.
Stinson on the receiving end of a touchdown pass from Isaiah Stevens. Stevens 14th of the year without throwing an INT as he continues his immaculate play, passing the rock. As New Lexington is on the board here, they nearly scored on their last possession. Tri-Valley forced them into a field goal attempt, which was a 30-yard miss. So that offense starting to get a little bit of a groove for Coach Board. Now the defense can just do the same. They'll have a ball game on top or in their hands here in the second half. We will.
A week ago, they only kicked a couple of their kickoffs deep. The other ones, they tried to pooch them somewhere in the middle and tried to recover them. So it wasn't an onside kick per se, but it was a kick designed to give you an opportunity to recover it as the kicking team. So I want to see what they do here tonight.
Always interesting. They like to run up a lot of times and then back off. Sometimes they'll kick it, little onside or a pooch. Witnessed that firsthand last week against West Tim.
Yeah, if he pooches it, he's going to try to land it down around the 35-yard line. But he's going to kick this one deep.
Low liner at the 20, fielded just near the 10, straight up the middle, 35, big alleyway, as the Scotties have a great return out past the 45 to the 46. 35 yards on the run back, and nothing fancy right up the middle. I think we do have a flag, though, on the return, too.
You will have to check that.
Far side of the field, about the 40.
That was a shoestring tackle by Owen O'Brien that potentially saved 6 there for the Panthers. They're going to pick that flag up, Hank.
So no penalty at all. And that's where the Skies will start. At the 45, they'll put it where the knee went down. Great field position for the Dogs after giving up 7 defensively, which is more than their season average of giving up 6.3 points per game after that New Lexington touchdown in PAT. See if the offense has an answer. 4 receivers to each direction. Again, the lone back, Wallace. Wallace gets it. Wallace met, and he won't get far. Finley greets him after a couple.
Great team defense by New Lexington there, as there were 4 different Panther helmets rallying around the football on that one, limiting Wallace to just 2 yards on first down.
Nicholas Finley, somebody to hear his name a lot. You did last week.
Yeah, he was a game wrecker at West Muskingum, was Nick Finley, number 53, lined up on the bottom of your screen, defensive end.
It'll be second down and 8 after 2. Quick pass, and Wallace was wide open for an easy touchdown. But Lyle had 2 guys right in his face. He had to hurry the throw.
Busted coverage by New Lexington that they got away with thanks to the pressure in the backfield. As you mentioned, Lyle had to release that one before he was comfortable doing so, and just a tad overthrown.
Hey,
huge down here.
Dialing up the pressure work there. What will New Lex do on 3rd down and long? Looking over to Cam West, head coach, again in his 5th year, 38-10 overall. A couple 9-3 years, including one last year, winning a couple playoff games, or actually a playoff game, and then losing in the second win to Granville. Looking to pass Lyle. Got him in! Look out! LaMonica in stride. 25-20, 10-5 touchdown. Tri-Valley. LaMonica, second time tonight. 53 yards from Lyle this time around.
And there's something wrong with Bentley Hansen. He's still not right. As we're going to take a look at this, the Lyle to LaMonica combination. Bentley Hansen's trailing the play, and he just,
by yards.
He's incapable of giving 100% right now. He's out there giving it everything, but you can tell he's got physical limitations. So whatever that injury was in the first quarter is really limiting his movement.
Very, very, very unfortunate for the Panthers.
Because you never see him out of position that far.
And he was not just a step behind, it was yards behind, multiple yards behind, about 3 yards behind on that play. When that pass was caught fluidly in stride by LaMonica, caught a 22-yard touchdown, now 53-yard touchdown. That's 2 receiving touchdowns for LaMonica. 2 TD tosses for Lyle, both to him. Chance at point 27 with the extra point. And make it a 20-point game again. It is on the way and good. 3 out of 4 from McCullough. After missing his first PAT tonight, Tri-Valley, that's an answer and a response for sure. It did not take long to go back up 20.
It sure didn't, and we're getting in danger zone if you're a Panther fan. Down 20, you really need to keep pace and score some points on this drive, because before you know it, they're going to have a 35-point lead and a running clock, and you do not want that if you're New Lexington.
So the Panther offense will have to come back out and come out with a counter punch. We'll have a chance here to throw our sponsors in, the 21st Century program at New Lexington High School. Make sure to call the high school today to enroll. You're obviously immersed here. Live streaming of South 60 Films, the official streaming partner of New Lexington Athletics. I mean, not only do Doug and I do the football games, and tonight you're filling in for Doug, Ted. I'm glad to have you. Obviously, we got quite the rapper over the years, and to see a game like this of magnitude tonight of unbeaten teams, unfortunate as it is, there's other things that goes on with New Lexington Athletics here on South 60 Films, like volleyball and soccer, and you're well into that too.
Absolutely.
You're busy.
Yeah. Yeah, this is I love coming to the Rock, though. It's one of my favorite places to watch a high school football game, right here at Jim Rockwell Stadium. I love the environment and the energy here in the stadium.
New Lexington will field this kickoff at the 5 as we're back to action. We're up the middle with good blocking. Bouncing out past the 30 and hog-tied by a pair of Scotties out near the 34-yard line for a 29-yard return.
Miles Wilson on the return, and it's a good one. Gives New Lexington excellent field position to start this drive. 6.5 to play before halftime.
I want to remind you, 7:30 tomorrow morning on Fox 5. Have a replay of the MVL Game of the Week. It's going to be Philo at Meadowbrook, Electrics, and Colts. Battle 2-2 teams there. Tune into that tomorrow morning. We'll try to get you an update as this night continues to evolve. Another big one around the area. Homecoming into Concord. John Glenn hosting Sheridan tonight around the MVL. Here's Kellogg. He'll get the tote and get a handful up to the 39. A rough landing at the end.
Nice gain on first down for Kellogg. Give him 4, maybe 5 on that one. Still, this is a manageable down. 2nd and 5.
Panthers try to run the hurry up. 6:15 left to go until the break. Kellogg gets the carry again. Kellogg fights his way forward for about 4 more to the 43. He's going to be about a yard and a half shy of a first down as we trickle under the midway point of quarter 2.
Bentley Hansen not on the field, Hank, offensively on this possession.
And Spicer has been out since pretty much the opening series. 2 big weapons. 5 receivers deployed without those 2. 3 to the left. Now the Panthers taking their time. They're running a little bit of tempo there for a moment. Slowed it down. As Stevens gets the play call from the sidelines, and he'll get the snap now. And quickly looking to pass to Kellogg, who did a quick slant inside, incomplete, thrown behind him, behind that right shoulder.
There's some miscommunication between Stevens and Kellogg right there, and I think that's going to bring on the punting unit, Hank. And 5.5 to play. They only took about 52 seconds off that clock on that possession. They're going to kick the ball right back to Tri-Valley.
Stevens will stay on to do the punting chores, Ted, and you know, at this level and with a team like New Lexington, as good as they are, talented as they are, at 4-0, facing their match here tonight with this Tri-Valley team that appears to be so much better even at 4-0. Equal marks coming in. You don't hear the boo birds because New Lexington has a passionate crowd. They know what this team is capable of doing in Division IV later on if they get to the postseason. This is their toughest game left on the schedule tonight for New Lexington, you could say, aside from Sheridan in the season finale.
We have another Panther down on the field. I didn't see what happened. It's number 22, Tanner Toth, for New Lexington. He seems to be in a significant amount of pain.
He's down right at the 35-yard line. Our cameras will not pan over to injuries. We'll keep him off of the injured players for good reason and due respect. 5:29 left to go until halftime. And good news is we just briefly talk away here. He's back up on his feet. He's going off on his own power. It's good to see.
Yeah, the Panthers can't afford to lose more bodies in this game, as it's obviously a luxury to bring in Lane Ratliff once Hanson and Spicer went down, because we haven't seen Ratliff involved offensively. He's been primarily a defensive player for them this year, but getting a chance to run some routes here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting a lot of playing time tonight as Ratliff, as well as a few others, including Toth, who just got up. And, you know, just mention, New Lexington, aside from this game, obviously, here with Tri-Valley, they play Sheridan on the road October 25th, the season finale. On their schedule, it looks like their toughest remaining game left. You would expect New Lexington can probably just make the playoffs with 5 wins, but it looks like, worst case, they lose tonight, they could probably go in with 1 or 2 losses.
You never want to lose a game, but a loss for New Lexington here tonight hurts them much less than it would a loss for Tri-Valley. A loss for Tri-Valley in Region 11, that may be the toughest region, top to bottom, in any region in any division in the state. As we sit here tonight, 3-1 John Glenn, who's playing Sheridan at home. They're on the outside looking in at 17. They're in 17th position, which just tells you the strength of that region.
Top 16 make it, of course, right on the outside. You're right, that is ridiculously tough.
So, yeah, you get a third loss on your record, you're not going to make the playoffs in Region 11.
You get a first down run here, Ted, as New Lexington decided not to kick this thing away, down 20, and they convert the 4th down after that injury timeout. As we look ahead to the New Lexington schedule and postseason aspirations, we talk about that. They're at midfield. They have aspirations of getting points here before the half and getting back into things. Handoff, Kellogg, been very, very busy in this first half. Minimal gain of a yard on that carry. You know, on the flip side, Tri-Valley, you know, he started touching upon them in Division III Region 11 and how much of a gauntlet it is with all those schools over there. Toughest games on their schedule is Sheridan and John Glenn in their final 2 games.
Yeah, that Region 11 is no joke, and you mentioned Bishop Watterson, probably the best Division III team in the state, in my opinion, and don't forget about Dover and Steubenville, who are playing each other tonight.
Very interesting, 3 versus 4.
Yeah, they're playing each other tonight at Crater Field in Dover.
That was always a nice sight, going up to Crater. Called a Tri-Valley Dover game up there. Tri-Valley was on the short end of the sticks playing those Tornadoes. As here you have a 2nd down and 9, and they're going to run again with Kellogg and get nothing to make it 3rd down and 9. And, you know, the second-ranked team currently in that Region 11 is Athens. Hey, 10 years ago, somebody by the name of Joe Burrow was doing some stuff at Athens. They might not have been that good since.
Yeah, they've been struggling, but they have put it together this year so far. A long way to go for the Athens Bulldogs.
3rd down and 9. And there's a lot of football left to be played. You're going to see the rankings shuttle around all year long still with 6 more weeks to go after. This one's completed. Here we go. Schwinnerman, a juggling catch. A hot potato, if you will, with that pigskin for the first down.
Excellent concentration to keep focused on that football and bring it in. Not an easy task. You can see him juggling artist. All the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Doug would say he might have an act in Vegas waiting. First down at the 29 for the New Lexington Panthers. Are moving down the field, and they'll get 3 on this carry. So the runs have gotten tougher, at least for Kellogg, as this game has progressed. 2nd and 7.
And that was 64 for Tri-Valley, who's been consistently in the backfield making plays.
4 receivers, 3 to the right.
It's open.
4th down, key play for these Panthers. Down 20. You try to get back to a 2-score game here and see if your defense can hold at the end of this half if Tri-Valley were to get the ball back. Taking a long time here to look for this key 4 to the right. Kellogg's one of those to the right side in the slot. And Coach Board's going to elect to burn what he had in his back pocket, leaving him with 2. So the Panthers here threatening, down 20. Try to get you that Sheridan John Glenn score in New Concord coming up. I believe it was a while ago, 7-3 John Glenn, correct?
Early second quarter.
Yeah.
Homecoming in New Concord, and a lot on the line. As we mentioned, both those teams play in Region 11. John Glenn and Sheridan.
Licks in their losses, they weren't even close in those games, and the final score indicated. Meanwhile, John Glenn's only losses to, hey, top seed Indian Valley.
Yeah, that loss against Indian Valley, that game was postponed.
Yeah.
You know, kids are used to playing at 7 p.m. on Fridays, and when they're there ready to play, and then they're told you got to play tomorrow morning at 11, it's a whole process of getting yourself mentally prepared again.
Very different situation that was. You're right, a few weeks back. Here we go, 4th down after the timeout by Coach Board. Man in motion, and Kellogg could not catch the dump. Past middle of the field on a screen. And Kellogg could not catch the dump. Past middle of the field on a screen play at the 26th, the line of scrimmage.
I don't think it was going anywhere anyway, Hank, as 64 Gavin Spiker was right there once again, as he has been a minute.
Has 1 if he needs to use it. New Lexington, meanwhile, on the flip side, has 2 timeouts left if they work the under 2-minute drill and get this football back.
You're not going to get those breaks against Tri-Valley. You're going to have to earn every inch and yard you gain here tonight.
Scotty's next game will be Maysville next week, coming up. New Lexington will be hitting the road next week. Obviously, it will not be a game that we have. They will take on winless Coshocton. Both Maysville, Coshocton winless on the year.
I did not hear if West Muskingum was able to schedule another opponent for tonight in such short notice, but their game originally canceled. Riverview forfeited the game, so we'll have to see how that factors into, you know, late season playoff scenarios and seedings and everything else. When you have only 9 games played this year all around, you know, over at John Glenn they got a young this year all around. You know, over at John Glenn they got a young sophomore, Owen Edwards, really playing well.
4 receivers on 2nd and 10. Pitch over to Wallace. He juggles it, able to maintain possession of the pigskin, and he busts forward, finally stacked up, but without taking down at the 42-yard line, stopping momentum by a pair of Panthers. Clock will still tick away. We'll be under a minute left to go in the half. No hurry here for Coach Cam West and the Tri-Valley Scotties, it appears, as they enjoy this 20-point cushion. 2 receivers each side. Wallace to the left in the backfield of Lyle. Lyle, jitterbug, dances around, found his receiver. He had too much time and protection, and he delivered a sizzler on the money to the 45 in New Lexington. They'll mark it the 44.
Cade Heindel's second catch of the football game. Get a second look at it real quick right there, as Cade Heindel seems to do the dirty work in the middle of the field, whereas LaMonica and Hahn seem to run vertical routes on the outside.
Heindel's had some big games. This time it's a dump to the right to Wallace, trying to use some of that strength of his with speed to get near that first down. He's going to be close, but just short.
See, he's a handful. He just refuses to go down.
So Wallace continues to matriculate down the field with the Scotties. 22 seconds left. They say he got out of bounds, needing 4 yards here on 2nd down. Mentioned Cade Heindel with that catch a moment ago. 5 catches, 93 yards, in the game-winning touchdown with just over 7 minutes left to go 2 weeks ago in that 1-point win over Clinton Massey. This team is extremely deep and dangerous, much like New Lexington over in D4. They'll be a team to be reckoned with in D3. They're a team to be reckoned with here tonight. The Panthers are finding out. Here's a screen pass, Wallace, left side. He'll cut inside 40. Look at this, cross the field, just outracing the defenders of New Lexington, for he's taken down at about the 26, but not before another first down with about 10 seconds left. So the Scotties looking for more points here late. Chance to add to it as you see the replay. I mean, Wallace, you see 3 Panthers, 5 total converging, and he basically put every one of them in the dust, finally caught from behind by 24.
Yeah, Mason Ryder on the tackle for New Lexington, likely saved 6. Just 10 seconds left to go in this first half, and that would be a devastating blow to allow a touchdown here with this amount of time left on the first half clock.
It's a first down 10 at the Panther 26-yard line after that play for Wallace on the screen. You know, much like on the other side, you know, you have Kellogg very busy catching passes and getting the totes. Very similar how the offenses are running. It's just the Scotties are way more effective so far through a half.
Just a lot bigger across the board at every position are the Scotties, you know.
They are. I've heard that throughout coming into tonight's game. They're a much bigger team than any in the league and around the area.
They are. They're big, they're physical, they're fast, they do everything well at a high level.
4 receivers, back to action here, Ted. 10 seconds left. Tri-Valley, will they go to the air and try to get points to the end zone? They will. Fire that way, one-on-one right side. LaMonica, no, it's Keaton Hahn, I believe. Yes, touchdown Hahn. He gets his first one tonight to make it 33-7.
What an excellent throw. We're going to get a look at it here. Watch this throw by Max Lyle. I mean, just right over the top of the defender, only where his receiver can high point the ball. And when you got playmakers like Hahn and LaMonica and Heindel, it makes your confidence go that much higher as a quarterback when you know your guy's going to go after it and make the play.
Hahn standing 6'4". You mentioned at the outset in the pregame, you got 6'3" in LaMonica, you had 6'4" Hahn. How do you defend that? New Lexington couldn't right there. The extra point banged up and in, and all of a sudden 34-7. You're staring at the deficit right before halftime.
And Tri-Valley is going to receive the third quarter kickoff. As they deferred to begin this game, New Lexington got the first crack at it in the first quarter. So down 27, and you're going to give possession in the third quarter to Tri-Valley. That running clock scenario becomes a reality here at the Rock, something I didn't see coming here tonight.
30-point win last year, new year, 4-0 starts for both. I didn't expect it either.
Yep.
Thought New Lexington at home, feeding off that big last-minute win at West Muskingum, a very tough Tornado team. I expect West Dem to run the table despite that loss last week. You know, and here it is. It's not been their first half. You lose a couple weapons, not to make excuses, doesn't help your cause. This Tri-Valley team is outplaying them.
It just seems like they're on a mission. They have big goals they've set for themselves this year, and they're not going to let anything stand in their way as they have played each game with a high level of focus, effectiveness, and discipline.
So Keaton Hahn with his first receiving touchdown of the night. That's the third touchdown pass in the half for Max Lyle, who now has 15 TD tosses on this young season near the midway point. 5 ticks to go. Here's your kickoff. It's a squibbler, kind of like an onside. Recovered by the Panthers up back at about the 45-yard line. 55 yards to go, 4 ticks left. Put a knee on it. Or if you coach board, do you try some sort of deep bomb? We'll find out. But 74 yards on that drive, capped off on that touchdown pass, and this team has looked all the part. Lyle with 2 tosses to LaMonica and 1 to Hahn for 3 more TD passes in this first half. So efficient. Stevens on the other side is just like him, just slings it with the left.
When you got a battering ram like Jaden Wallace running straight downhill through the defense, it really opens things up downfield. It really makes it hard for a defense to commit second bodies to a wide receiver running routes downfield when you have to take care of the run first.
Panthers are going to come out looking like they're going to throw something up here. Why not? You're down 4 scores. Last play of the half, Stevens threatened on the run to his left, throws it to the sideline. That's how the first half is going to come to a close as it sails over to the Tri-Valley bench. 1 half in the books here at Jim Rockwell Stadium. Battle of 4-0 teams coming into this one. Tri-Valley winners of 14 straight games in the series with these New Lexington Panthers, not losing to them since 2008. Doesn't appear like they're going to do it here tonight. Through one half, it is 34-7 in favor of the Dogs. We will step aside. We'll give you some first half highlights as well. Ted and I will probably find our way to get a bite too. Back with the second half after this. Back here on South 60 Films at Jim Rockwell Stadium. Battle of 4-0 undefeated teams is lopsided so far through one half. You see the score at the bottom. It's the Tri-Valley Scotties leading the New Lexington Panthers here 34-7. I'm Hank Alvin with Ted Snyder filling in tonight for Doug Clifford. Ted, well, thought we'd see a good game and witness one and call one here. And so far through one half, it's been all Tri-Valley Scotties for the most part.
Sure has. The Scotties been flexing their muscle here in New Lexington tonight. They're up by a count of 34-7, and they're going to get the kickoff to start this third quarter. And to rub salt in the wound, you can see Bentley Hansen down on the sidelines. He is without shoulder pads. He is not coming back in this football game.
We roll through the first half highlights, Ted, and you're going to see how Tri-Valley got things going with the aerial assault attack first as Max Lyle and the Scotties would score right here on a pass from Lyle to LaMonica, 22-yard score after he made the long catch. Jaden Wallace goes in from 11 yards out here. He also would add another 11-yard touchdown run as he had 2 rushing touchdowns. It was 20-0 Scotties at the end of the first. Here's another one that set up one of those Wallace touchdowns.
That's Ryan LaMonica on the perfectly thrown catch on the perfectly thrown ball from Lyle, setting up Wallace's second 11-yard TD run.
Number 2 gets number 2. There you see it as he gets tripped up into the paint. Scotties missed the first extra point tonight, but then they've been successful on all PATs after. Here's a nice catch by a sophomore receiver in Ratcliffe for the New Lexington Panthers. You know, they've had some problems with some injuries to their skill position players at wide receiver.
Yeah, Bentley Hansen is without shoulder pads. You can see him on the sideline. He's not coming back in this game, and I'm going to assume Tyson Spicer is not going to return either. So not only are you facing a huge deficit, you're down 2 of your key players. So I think New Lexington probably has a mindset of just get out of this one as healthy as we can and move on to next week.
See Isaiah Stevens here providing a spark at his quarterback position for the Panthers. They get their lone touchdown right there on a pass over to Stenson. As they were off the schneid, it made it 20-7, lead down to 13. Wouldn't last long. LaMonica, again, a deep bomb. That one goes for 53 yards from Lyle to LaMonica, makes it 27-7. Stevens throwing a pass here. For what it's worth, that was a heck of a play there. Schwinneman, hot potato catch as New Lexington would get down deep but could not score, and Tri-Valley would add another one for good measure.
Yeah, this was an outstanding throw and catch. Max Lyle to Keaton Hahn in the corner of the end zone to end the first half, but we mentioned the New Lexington Panthers down a couple key skill players, and they're really going to have their work cut out for them in the second half of this one. On the bright side, it's going to give some of your younger guys and unsung heroes a chance to get some meaningful playing time here against Tri-Valley.
That last touchdown pass from Lyle to Hahn went for 26 yards. That was just 5 seconds left to go in the half. Again, 34-7, so they're riding all the momentum into the locker room are the Dogs. Panthers on the flip side, not so much. You know, and we could have that running clock. 30-point deficit means a running clock, and Panthers could be really facing that. Usually they're doing it to the other team. They've done it 3 times so far on this young campaign.
And definitely not what we expected when we came in here a couple hours ago. We expected a closer ball game than this, but it hasn't transpired that way. Tri-Valley just very, very good. They've separated themselves from the rest of the MVL, regardless of division. I just think this is a statement win for Tri-Valley coming in here tonight.
3 touchdown passes for Lyle in the first half, 2 to LaMonica, the last one to Hahn, 2 rushing touchdowns. Jaden Wallace, he continues to be such a success in the backfield for the Scotty program over the years. Isaiah Stevens, again, the touchdown pass, a short variety TD pass to Stenson for their only score around the midway point of the second quarter. Got them on the board rather than having a goose egg instead. A couple times they had a chance to score more points to the Panthers. They got down to Tri-Valley 11, missed a 30-yard field goal as the Dog defense stifled them on that scoring opportunity. And then the Panthers got down to also the 26-yard line of Tri-Valley and failed on 4th down. So we could be at a closer score. Still, Tri-Valley would have been up by multiple scores, but it could have been much closer. But again, woulda, coulda, shoulda is not.
You are right, my friend. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on this first drive by Tri-Valley and how that forces the hand of Kevin Board to make some tough decisions. How long do you stick with Isaiah Stevens and expose him? You've already seen Tyson Spicer and Bentley Hansen not be able to return to this game. You desperately cannot lose your quarterback in this game.
Panthers will tee it up here to start this second half, so the Scotties will receive the ball first. Couple return men standing back at their own 20. 14 straight wins in this series for the Scotties over the New Lexington Panthers. dates back to 2008 when the last time the Panthers defeated the Scotties. There was one year they did not play. That was the COVID-shortened 2020 season. They've played every year other than that. So the Tri-Valley Scotties have enjoyed a lot of success like that over many schools over the years, let alone New Lexington.
Yeah, their dominance in the MVL is closing in on a couple decades now. As if Sheridan doesn't get them late in the year, they've oftentimes went unbeaten in the Muskingum Valley League. It's usually come down to Sheridan. But I don't know if it's in the cards this year for the Generals. Generals, very, very young team, trying to find an identity still.
Much as John Glenn as well with a sophomore quarterback. You were mentioning to me at the break, again, reminding me of that.
Sheridan's
John Glenn's
also
3-1.
a sophomore quarterback.
Yeah.
Tice Whiteman.
Those will be the final 2 games on the Scotties schedule, completing the 2024 regular season when we get into late October. This one's teed off and kicked away, fielded on the fly at the 14, up the middle 30, and near the 35, stopped at about the 34 for a 20-yard run back for the Scotties here to start this second half, as Carter Dinan continues to do the kickoff return chores for Coach Cam West.
Very nice return up to the 34-yard line. Scotty Dogs going to set up shop for their first drive of the second half.
Let's see how these two teams come out mentally to start this third quarter of what is a 27-point deficit for New Lexington, or margin overall. It's going to be a Wallace run. Wallace right side, past the 40, bangs forward with that right arm and elbow to the 41 near the 42.
Just a very powerful runner. Great vision, bounced that one to the outside. And got 7 out of that first yard run.
Makes it look so easy.
He sure does.
Wallace remains in there, and
he just never goes down on first contact. Initial contact never brings Wallace to the ground. It takes 2 or 3 defenders usually to bring him down.
It's like Ashton Winter, the fullback, in there. Lead blocking for none other than Wallace for a first down run to the 47 as he picks up another handful or so.
I know these Scotties probably got a real bad taste in their mouth from losing a playoff game to Granville a year ago. I firmly believe even last year, Scotties were a better team than Granville, and they just fell short up there on the road. I think this year's Tri-Valley team really looks like they're on a mission.
That was a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
32-29 came down to the final moments, losing to the Aces of Granville. Run play again, so Tri-Valley trying to use a lot of that clock here to start the quarter with a big lead. Up to the 49 for that short gain. Panthers just trying to find a way to build some momentum, it looks like, not only here in the second half, but into next week. It starts with stops, and right now they're unable to do so here in the first 3 carries. Direct snap, Lyle, handoff, Wallace. Wallace, in that pistol formation, flies forward over into Panther territory to the 45. Ho-hum, another 6 yards and a first down.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get a second look at this, but Jaden Wallace carried Eli Stevens about 3 yards on that play, and Stevens stands 6'5", 230 pounds. And Wallace took him for a ride downfield.
This Tri-Valley has done 4 straight run plays out of the gates here in the half. Twin receivers to the left, so you got that power look with Wallace remaining in the backfield, double tights, running inside. The center and the right guard is Wallace again, this time for about 4 more to the 41-yard line. Flashback to the days here when running was usually the thing. Doug would be very proud tonight, right now at this particular moment.
Hey, with this big lead, I think Tri-Valley just wants to keep the clock moving and keep the yards going in a positive direction and get out of here. No reason to force the ball downfield with a 27-point lead, but just when you think they won't, they're going to hit you with it.
In fact, they're going to try to hit him right now. Looking left side, one-on-one, LaMonica. Oh, and it's incomplete. He nearly had it right off the tips. Great defense to knock it up at the very end by the DB.
Yeah, that was number 44, Dalius Neely.
Sophomore.
Yeah, young sophomore for New Lexington broke that play up.
Looked like LaMonica had yet another call for 6 potentially, but it was maybe just slightly underthrown, but also give the defensive back credit.
Absolutely. LaMonica still nearly caught the football.
That'll be 2nd and 10 for this Scotty offense. Again, Wallace back there. Pistol look. Here we go. Run, Wallace, right side. Lowering that shoulders. plowing over kids inside the 35 to the 34, shy of the first down, but another 8 in the books.
That was Lane Ratliff who took the worst end of that hit as Wallace just ran him over, the young sophomore. There is flags after the play for extracurricular activity, it appears, Hank. It appears it's going to be on the Panthers. Unsportsmanlike conduct against New Lexington will give the Scotties a free 15 here, Hank. Inside the 20-yard line, the ball will be spotted.
I mean, New Lexington just helping Tri-Valley even more. It's something they can ill afford to do right now in this third quarter, down 34-7 on the board, giving them free chunk yards on penalties now, let alone what's been transpiring on the ground, mainly on this opening possession drive. 9:13 to go, third quarter. Running clock. If Tri-Valley is able to score even a field goal here to go up by 30 plus.
So is it 30 or 35, the running clock?
I believe it was 30, and it's 35 in basketball.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we found out last year in basketball. It was 35, so that was a new wrinkle.
Yeah.
Yep.
I knew 35 was ringing in my head.
And you're right, and we'll be doing basketball before you know it in December, January, Feb, as Wallace goes back to the ground game with him. And he's going to move the chains for a first down. They only needed a few.
Now Lane Ratliff coming off the field, carrying his helmet. He seems to be in a little bit of discomfort. I mean, not only are New Lexington losing players, they're losing key players in their scheme, both defensively and offensively.
Hopefully they can get well quick. Getting well now, it looks like it doesn't seem to matter. This Scotty team is a major force. Wallace again, very busy, tries to go around the right end. He's going to cut it back, and he tries to go towards that end zone, but he's going to be stacked up. As his forward progress was stopped right around the 5-yard line or so, gain of about 3-ish.
It was only due to his momentum being slowed because he didn't want to run out of bounds. He had to come to a complete stop and then try to restart at the 3-yard line.
Got on that short side of the field.
It still took a pair of Panthers to bring him to the ground. I'm just real impressed with Jaden Wallace. He's compiled an outstanding career in a Tri-Valley uniform.
Winner remains in there at fullback. Try to help block. Twin receivers left side. Now Wallace is going to go out left side as a receiver. Actually, he's going to fool the defense as Lyle's going to run it straight forward, and Lyle scores. Max Lyle has thrown 3 touchdown passes and now does it on the ground with a rush. 4 yards out from Max Lyle. 40-7 Tri-Valley with 7:49 to play in the third quarter with the extra point pending, and now you do get that running clock to come. And so this is not what you would expecting at Jim Rockwell Stadium as a Panther fan at all. Though some would see this as something that was potentially coming, that know Tri-Valley really well. Here's the extra point, and it's on the way, and bang through good.
Makes the score Tri-Valley 41, New Lexington 7. We were hoping for a good one, but Scotty Dogs came in here with a game plan, and they're sticking to it. Score early, score often.
Yep.
You mentioned they scored 65 a week ago, and you know their starters didn't play the majority of that second half, so it's no secret this Tri-Valley team can put up points. It's just the job they're doing defensively against New Lexington cannot be understated, as New Lexington comes into this ball game averaging nearly 40 a game.
Yeah, they do.
Offensively, and they've only got 1 touchdown on the board right now.
Definitely the Scotties defense is winning the battle, let alone the offense.
Yeah.
Just both sides. Complete dominant game overall for the Scotties here, 2.5 quarters in.
As big a numbers as they put up as a team offensively, it's probably going to be that defensive unit that carries them into postseason. If they want to win games in Division III, Region 11, it's that defense that's really going to be their hallmark.
Well, that was their first, or they pitched 2 shutouts, I should say, so far in their first 4 games. Won't get one here tonight with Tri-Valley. But you held Clinton Massey to 13. Meadowbrook opener, you gave up 12. They could pass the rock around in Byesville. And again, it's the opening game where also you're not quite ready maybe to play that first game. This Tri-Valley team, like you said, defensively putting the locks down here tonight. Last week also, obviously, basically all season here through week 5.
And
I agree with you. Offense is offense. You can try to go to a shootout like what you witnessed last week, 38-35. That could come down the wire and your season's over.
Yeah. The Falcons of Clinton Massey, they're one of the best blocking teams in the entire state. That's what they do. They run the football out of the wing T formation. They do it very well, year in and year out. And Tri-Valley was able to hold them to 13 points. Just outstanding.
3 receivers. New Lexington's first offensive play here of the half is a run. Not for much. Back to Kellogg as he moves it forward for about a yard. Inside of 7 minutes now left to play here in this third quarter of a Tri-Valley 41-7 scalping of the Panthers. As the Panthers try to get something on track offensively now in the frame.
Isaiah Stevens still in the football game. We'll see how long Kevin Board wants to leave his senior starter out there. But Lane Ratliff came off the field. I believe Lane Ratliff is the backup quarterback. So
yeah, he is.
It kind of poses a problem if you want to go and make that decision.
A couple weeks ago, Ratliff came in as the backup in a big win over Morgan here. Had a 5-yard touchdown run. Has taken a shot to the shoulder pads. But getting a flag for it as the Tri-Valley defense was Schwinderman. As he couldn't haul that one in near midfield. Yep. He paid the price.
Cade Heindel's going to get called for that. That was a bang-bang call. I can understand why they threw the flag, but I don't think Cade Heindel did anything malicious on that play. He did not lead with his helmet. He did not hit the player late.
I mean, replay would show I think your points are extremely valid. I don't think it warranted a flag, but due to the intensity of that hit, I think that outweighed it all in the officials' minds.
Sometimes what your eyes see can just automatically make that reflex.
Yep. And so
you see such a violent collision.
Eventually they're going to mark things off. Meanwhile, the clock keeps on marking down. Again, running clock, 34-point lead Tri-Valley. There's the march off of the penalty into Tri-Valley territory, to the chagrin of the Dresden-Frasiesburg faithful across the way on the other sidelines in the bleachers.
So generous here at Jim Rockwell. They give them about 5 rows, of seats on the opposite side of the field.
And they will travel in flocks.
Yeah.
I mean, sitting up on the dead grass here at New Lexington, other fans far, far away across from us, as there's a quick hitter to the right side completed to Ratliff, who came back in for a short gain.
Kason Baker on that tackle once again, and he's made a number of open field tackles in this game. Has Kason Baker.
4 receivers, tempo, running some quick offense here with the spread. Run play to Carson Kellogg once more for a couple more. All the carries here tonight, you think Kellogg would be getting closer to triple digits on the ground, but not against this stifling bunch of dogs. Not to this point. Third down and call it 6. Pick up a first down at the Tri-Valley 37. Ball hugs near the 43. As Stevens looks over. Owen O'Brien wide left. This guy made a big touchdown last week in that win over West. He also had one early in the year that Doug and I had. Back in late August, early in the season. Here's a run to Kellogg to the 40. Not going to be enough for a first. He got half of the 6. So you got 4th down. This is an automatic go for.
Yeah, when you're down 34, nothing to lose.
Again, it's all about executing plays at this point. Unfortunately, with the scoreboard reading as such, 41-7. There'll be better days, obviously, in New Lexington. They knew what was going to be on hand here tonight. It was going to be a tough task and a challenge to get this victory.
This was a tough 2-week stretch, last week and this week, on the road at West Muskingum and here at home against Tri-Valley. And I think that's why their sense of urgency was so high last week to win that game on the road, because they knew this was going to be a challenge here tonight.
There's a fake. Stevens hit as he threw that ball, and he's looking for a flag. It goes harmlessly incomplete to the turf, shy of his receiver downfield, and New Lexington will turn the ball over on downs. And you're right, that's the toughest 2-game stretch for New Lexington on their schedule. It was last week against West, tonight against Tri-Valley. One could say it's smooth sailing until you see rivals shared October 25th.
And then from here on out, they're going to play 3 of their final 5 on the road, New Lexington will. So, albeit the competition decreases, you're still going to be traveling a lot over the next 5 weeks if you're a Panther fan.
And the 2 home games they get that we'll have for you next month on October 11th, which is our next game here on South 60 Film streaming live, will be against Meadowbrook Colts, Crooksville Ceramics on the 18th. Back-to-back home games there in mid-October. As we have a Wallace run, it's an explosive one towards that sideline on the far side near midfield, just shy of another first down run. You never know. I mean, Meadowbrook's 2-2, Crooksville's 3-1. You look at those types of teams. Those are the next 2 home games for New Lexington that we'll have next month. And you think, like, well, that looks good on paper, but who have you played? You know, what's your schedule at that point? Who have you beat? Who have you lost to? But those teams do have some weapons at Crooksville and Meadowbrook at the skill positions, in particular quarterback for both teams. As we set up a 2nd down and 2. You get a backup running back carry here, Ted, on 2nd and 2, and going to be short of the mark to pick up that first down by a yard or so.
Yeah, it's the first time anyone not named Wallace has carried the football tonight for Tri-Valley. That was number 31, Isaiah Doyle, on the carry for the Scotties. He's still in there to Lyle's right.
Doyle,
we may have seen the last of Jaden Wallace in this one.
I think we may have. Doyle's 5'8", 155 pounds. He's a junior, back up to Wallace as an emergency. He played a lot in the first week when Wallace sat out with a lower leg injury in the win over Meadowbrook in week 1. And Doyle did some mop-up duty against Morgan a week ago. He ran for 69 yards on 12 carries. So they try to trickle him in with some experience behind Wallace, the workhorse.
You can see through Doyle's first 2 carries just how good a back Wallace is. This New Lexington defense has stuffed Doyle consecutive carries. 2 carries for 1 yard for Doyle.
What a difference, huh?
Yeah. It's the same blockers up front.
Tri-Valley appears to line up to go for it, leaving Doyle in the game as the deep back with the fullback in front of him. Power I, classic. Lyle fumbled the exchange, able to get it, not going to get it. Panthers will stop him on downs. Give the Panthers credit on the defensive front the last 3 plays, preventing Tri-Valley from continuing to move the football down the field as they turn it over. Moral victory, you could say, at this point, but the Panthers will take the positive. Coach Board obviously will. As the offense will come back out on the field and try to gain some momentum here late in the 3rd.
I don't see Stevens on the field, Hank. We'll see officially, but I don't see number 8 out there. Here he comes.
Yep.
Running on late. Just now coming into your picture.
So they will keep him on. We'll Coach Board. He's going to roll with Carson Kellogg still in the backfield. You know, Hanson's been out most of the night. Spicer barely played, been out basically the entire night. Those 2 guys dealing with some injuries.
I got to say, I'm a little surprised that he's sticking with Stevens and Kellogg at this stage of the game, considering you've already lost Spicer and Hanson in this game.
The further risk versus the reward of getting more game action, maybe with some of these guys that don't play as much, is very good to gain. So is it half full or half empty, that glass? But I understand injury's a big thing. Ill afford when you got bigger hopes and dreams later on down the road when you get to November.
Yeah, Spicer was pretty clear he wasn't coming back in this game, but I have a sneaking suspicion if this game were closer, Bentley Hanson would find a way to get back out there. He's a real gamer, but I just think it's not worth the risk at this point.
Final play of the 3rd quarter has run out here. 12 more minutes left to go in our game of the week here on South 60 Films at New Lexington. Jim Rockwell Stadium, not rocking tonight. Tri-Valley 41, New Lex 7. Back to action here, start of the fourth quarter. Isaiah Stevens will fire this one downfield as he remains in the game here of a 41-7 Tri-Valley score. I'm Hank Alvin with Ted Snyder here tonight. Got to be a part of our Friday night here in late September. Fortunately, about 4-0 undefeated has been lopsided to say the least, all dogs as we start the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Stevens tried to find Swindeman a long crossing route downfield. Led him a little too far. Fourth down. It says fourth down on the scoreboard, but the marker says third down.
6 yards needed for the Panthers as they're at the dog 44-yard line. Less than a minute gone by, fourth quarter. It's a draw play. It's Kellogg. Explosive is Kellogg. First down and then some, and he gets pushed out of bounds from the backside inside the 30-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. One of the best runs for Kellogg tonight.
I love the play call. A little delayed draw. Got the defense committed, and then just popped a little draw play in there, and a lot of space for Kellogg to run all the way down inside the 35. They say he stepped out.
Coach Board still leaving a lot of his starters in here down the stretch. Again, dealing with a couple injuries to Hanson and Spicer. Here's a quick pass out to Kellogg, slip to the right, out of the backfield. He hauls it in, moves forward, bangs inside the red zone, depending upon the spot, about the 19-yard line. He's going to be a yard short of the first down after this reception. So New Lexington threatening for points for the first time in this half. About 10 minutes left to go in the game. Give you a score update here in just a moment after this play. It's John Glenn Sheridan update from New Concord, homecoming for the Muskies. It's a tight one. Here's Stevens, pump fake, rolling right. Chucks to the end zone, backside, and it's incomplete. Tried to hit Schwindeman, and Schwindeman couldn't dive and make the catch.
Just let him a hair too far, did Stevens. But
what's that score you got going on over in New Concord between John Glenn and Sheridan last check?
Fourth quarter, Sheridan 17, John Glenn 14 in New Concord. So tight one going on over at John Glenn High School tonight.
What a game. A lot of times you see very close matchups between those two.
It's pretty bold to schedule Sheridan on your homecoming game.
And here with 9.5 to go, it remains 41-7, and the Panthers misfiring on a touchdown pass try, and now they're going to put it on the floor. Did they lose it? They turn it over once in the first half, and they turn it over once now in the second half. That's 2 turnovers in the game as they put it on the ground, and the Dogs turn away the Panthers deep in Tri-Valley territory. So the Panthers 3 times have been inside the Tri-Valley 26 tonight and have showed 0 points on those 3 possessions.
If the Panthers could have got one in the end zone there, it would have stopped this running clock temporarily. But as we speak, the time continues to run. We're just over 9 minutes to play in this ball game, and Tri-Valley possession once again.
And getting back to that Sheridan John Glenn game, 17-14 Generals in a tight one by 3, and who does that? Scheduling homecoming games of that nature. Usually it's like you want to really enjoy the night and the weekend, don't you?
Yeah.
Now you make it more stressful.
It is.
Instead of matchups like that.
Like I said, that's bold. You could have picked any number of games in the coming weeks, but you chose to go with Sheridan. That's a statement.
So 9 minutes and rolling here back to this one. We'll try to get you a concluding score of that game when we get it over in New Concord. Back shifts at the backfield as you're starting to see some backups run the football here as the Scotties are going to lose a yard on first down.
We'll see a new quarterback in the game for Tri-Valley. Sophomore Jackson Marshall taking the snaps for Tri-Valley right now. 5'9", 135-pound sophomores. Just a little guy.
And anything goes these days, right?
That's right.
Wearing number 35.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen all kinds of stuff in the pros now. Like, hey, go ahead and tight end and wear number 9. Whatever the number is now, I guess, whatevs.
It does. It does look bizarre. Back when we were younger, I think you had to be 0 through 19.
Yeah.
I don't think you could be 20 or above. I don't think could be a quarterback number. Yeah, you see all kinds of numbers back there nowadays.
Receivers are always in the 80s. They're all designated, but not anymore as we have flags fly under 8 minutes to play of the running clock here. False start Tri-Valley. Heard it through the loudspeaker. 41-7 Dogs running away with it. Maysville's on deck. Again, looks like October 18 and October 25th, the Skies are circling the counters. Obviously, you take it week by week. Any coach will say that, coach speak. Cam will say that for Tri-Valley. So will Coach Board next week when they get Coshocton and Maysville for Tri-Valley next week. But these 2 teams get stiff tests at the end of the month and at the end of the month of October, and that's the Sheridan Generals playing them. John Glenn is the finale for Tri-Valley in late October. Here's a fake, little miscommunication. positive yard on the play somehow, despite with the backup trying to hand off to another backup, and that happened.
He made the fake to the ghost of football past. Had to take it himself.
A whiff.
Yeah.
Oh, made me think of baseball there, a whiff on that. Otani 50-50 club.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, how about that?
I think first ever.
Yeah, you know, it was always a big thing. The 40-40 club for us growing up was a big thing.
I mean, heck, 30-30 was a thing for a long time.
Yeah.
And next year he's going to be pitching again, Otani.
Then some illegal substances started to kick in, and then 40-40s became pretty achievable and other things, right? Here we go, pass out to the right, caught by the Dogs for a short gain again. They're not going to get the first down, and fourth down looms.
Yeah, they're going to punt this football, or the Scotties. Give New Lex at least one more shot on offense.
Special teams come onto the field for both these squads. Coming down to the final 6. As New Lexington will try to get a late score here, something they tried to do on their last possession, but turned it over. No pressure at all for the punter, really. Well, as soon as I say that, you have a lineman jump up and block it off the chest, and it ricochets out of bounds. So how about that? Open mouth, insert foot.
New Lexington's going to possess this ball at the Tri-Valley 9-yard line, so they're set up first and goal off the block punt. Potentially could stop this running clock.
Well, Doug and I witnessed a Panther block punt weeks ago, and they get another one here. So the special teams for New Lexington, they definitely do some things positively, and they got one there here in this 2024 season at the midway point. We'll take over with the football with good field position, regardless of the outcome and regardless of the score you see here on your screen. The Tri-Valley is going to make it 15 wins in a row in the series. Not since 08, since New Lexington last defeated them.
So we've got Isaiah Stevens out of the game. We have freshman quarterback Jackson Newland in the game.
A lot of Jacksons going around with backup quarterbacks too. It's going to be a run play as Jackson hands it off.
The freshman getting valuable playing experience here in the fourth quarter against Tri-Valley. And you mentioned a little while ago the great sophomore class they have here at New Lexington, including Eli Stevens and Lane Ratliff and others.
Yeah.
But getting these young guys this playing experience, there's a lot to be said for that.
And that was a freshman, in fact. You mentioned the sophomores.
Jackson Newland.
Yeah, Newman handing off to Colton Mathias.
Wow.
A freshman running back wearing number 20. He remains in the backfield as the deep back and gets the carry again. He's got some spry speed trying to bounce it around the right side, does the freshman. Didn't get much, but he does show a little bit of burst as New Lexington plays it out here down the stretch, trying to get a touchdown late with under 5 to go.
Yeah, they're going to have third and goal from around the 8-yard line. See what Kevin Board elects to do with his youngsters in the game. You know, a pair of freshmen in the backfield for the Panthers.
They'll come out of the huddle with a third down and 7 needed. See if they can pick it up, or better yet, get a touch. A shotgun handoff again to Mathias. Mathias found an alleyway, and he's got a touchdown. He found 6. Colton Mathias, the freshman back, running it in from the left side, and it's now 41-13. New Lexington scores their first points of the half. Positive note towards the end of this one.
And if New Lexington can get this PAT to go, that would be more points than anyone scored on Tri-Valley through the first 5 weeks. So if you want to take something positive away from this game, you're able to score 14 points against a team that no one else has been able to this far.
Always shooting for the stars. You know, see that silver lining. Yeah. Hey, you're just presenting a fact.
That's right.
Extra point penny for that 14th point. And it's on the way. Barrowman, can he do it? Yes, it's good. He buried it. 41-14, most points now given up for Tri-Valley on the season. 27-point lead it was at the half. Still a 27-point lead right now. No running clock at this particular moment with 4.5 minutes left to go, also for what it's worth with that score.
I have a feeling Tri-Valley will just hand the ball off here. They're not going to get crazy or creative in the last 4 minutes, so the clock should continue to run on these running plays coming up by Tri-Valley.
one would think Coach Ward would probably just let that happen without calling timeout. Sure, he wants to get the stops, try to get the ball back, yes. Not sure he's going to be very adamant calling TOs. Well, you know, a lot of stuff to talk about sometimes, you know, when you have games of sorts where they get out of hand on the scoreboard. I want to wish you a happy birthday early. So you got a birthday next Friday. You working a game next week on your birthday?
I think so, yeah.
All right. Hey, that's being a trooper. I wanted to throw that out to you. Happy birthday early. Just another year younger, aren't we?
Yeah. You get to a certain age, you just want to skip right over that day sometimes. You don't want to recognize another year has gone by.
Oh, they have flown by.
Yes, they have.
Who would have thought? Shall we reveal? 30 years from high school graduation this upcoming May next spring.
Yes, I will.
Right?
Yeah.
I will do it. It's a sad fact. But facts again are the facts. Here comes New Lex with a little trickery again in the kicking game. Drew a flag, in fact.
Flag on themselves. Sean Andrews was the guilty party for New Lexington.
And so that just prolongs your contest here tonight, well past the 9 o'clock hour, about quarter after-ish, 9:15. Well, your guys' game last week with that high-scoring, lots of yards put up affair between West and New Lex, you guys were not out of there till after 10.
It was on the later side, and the week prior to that, you know, there were lightning delays all over the area.
Yeah, that was a late night.
We got out of Newark Whites Field late. I was barely able to get the hard drive back to the radio station or the TV station in time for them to air the highlights on Wiz. It was a chaotic night.
There's a chaotic kick, let alone a chaotic night. Tri-Valley's going to get this ball after that onside kick attempt by the Panthers. And, you know, the spread is less than 30. The clock's, again, stopped momentarily at 4:29, but yeah, glad you could still get it in so those highlights could get thrown out there because that was a whale of a game last week. Unbelievable. And then 2 weeks ago, Doug and I were in basically a monsoon like we all were. I don't know. I think it stopped up there at least.
Yeah.
But here it seemed like it was all game long. It never stopped.
It was a little worse south of where we were in Newark. We could see on the radar that down here in Perry County, you guys were getting the worst of it. We only had one 30-minute delay. I think you guys were delayed for 2 hours total.
Oh, it was bad. And as Tri-Valley will come out with a run with the backups on first down from the 41 to about the 35 for 6. And yeah, it was quite some time. We kicked things off. It was getting close to about 8:30. It was about an hour total delay before we got things going. And eventually it was a 30-0 final for New Lexington. So they got that running clock late to kind of help compensate some. But let me tell you how soggy it was. I mean, you had computers and monitors and papers and everything was saturated. I mean, we were. It was disgusting.
Wow.
2nd down and 4 for the Dogs here on this unfortunate, disgusting night for New Lexington on the scoreboard. They try to get out of here, lick their wounds, and get back in their winning ways next week. Handoff. Run play will net a first down past the 30 to the 29, so about 6 more yards for the Dog backup backs.
Freshman ball carrier for Tri-Valley on that play, Levi Wade.
All kinds of names out there getting some pub tonight.
A lot of freshmen on the field getting invaluable experience at the varsity level.
Clock chewing. Again, taking her time here after another run play. You called it. It's to be expected. Trying to run his clock out.
You can see on your screen, it's odd to see 35 and 36, and one of them's the quarterback.
You're like, which one's the running back? Oh, never mind. You're right. QB 35, running back 36. And it's going to be a run short, gain of about 3 to the 26-yard line. Runner 3 to go. Again, our next South 60s live streaming broadcast will be 3 weeks from now, October 11. It'll be New Lexington here at home at the Rock against the Meadowbrook Colts. Week after that on the 18th, Crystal Ceramics from Perry County come in to play in the home regular season finale. Tomorrow morning, 7:30 replay. Speaking of Meadowbrook, they'll be taking on the Philo Electrics. Watch that game. Battle 2-2 teams tomorrow morning at 7:30 on Fox 5. Instant replay each and every week. That's the MVL Game of the Week. Where shall you be next week, sir? Any idea?
I do not.
we'll look that one up and throw it out to you. We get that answer is we try to run things out here with another run by Tri-Valley short of the first down. We're also going to get you a Sheridan John Glenn score here before we sign off soon when this one's over. It's going to be Morgan West Muskingum, so Raiders Tornadoes next week. Raiders winless coming in, and the Tornadoes probably one of the best 2-2 teams out there.
They definitely are.
So that's where you'll be next week. Hope it's a good one on your birthday as Tri-Valley here faces 3rd and short with under 2 to play.
Yeah, I've been real impressed with that West Muskingum team. What they've been able to do without relying on Rashid Cisse so much has really been a real nice surprise, because it was really uncertain how they were going to look when, you know, they were centered around one player so heavily. But they have really picked up where they left off the last 2 years.
They really have, and Tri-Valley is going to run for the first down and up to the 18 into the red zone of a 41-14 game. That'll stop the clock just temporarily, or would, to mark the chains, you would think. But instead, it's going to keep on rolling here as this game is obviously well over. Throw out this too. We got to do that. 21st Century program at New Lexington High School. Make sure to call the high school today to enroll. Again, the 21st Century program at New Lexington High School. And again, you're listening to the official streaming partner of New Lexington Athletics, South 60 Films, for all their home games and volleyball and soccer, etc. as well. The fall sports for New Lexington, boys or girls. And we'll have basketball around the corner as well in December, before you know it.
Tri-Valley takes a knee.
Yep, Tri-Valley put a knee on things there, Ted, and we'll be doing the same soon and driving back northward out of Perry.
Yeah, this one's been all Tri-Valley tonight, and I can't help but think back to last January when New Lexington's basketball team went up to Dresden and kind of shocked the Scotties on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
It was a makeup game, and I know it's two different sports, but a lot of the same players on these teams, so I just wondered if Tri-Valley had a little bit of revenge on their mind coming in here tonight.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
41-14. It's in the books. It's the final. You see at the bottom of your screen here on South 60 Films. Ted and I have a final wrap right now. I'm not going to do any highlights. It was not as many tonight for your New Lexington Panthers, of course. They scored a late touchdown, and they had one other touchdown in the second quarter. Tri-Valley jumped on them from the start, Ted. You know, they came out 20-0, blitzed the Panthers after one quarter. It was 34-7 at half. Tri-Valley scores a third quarter touchdown. New Lexington gets a mop-up late fourth quarter touchdown from the guys off the Pine, as this goes out to be a 5-0 record now for Tri-Valley, and New Lexington slips to 4-1 as the Scotties stay undefeated. They beat New Lexington for the 15th straight time. And the last time New Lexington beat Tri-Valley was in 2008. Last time they beat them here at the Rock was 2005, but those streaks are still intact and will continue, unfortunately, for the Panthers.
Yeah, this Scotty team, they're as advertised. They're no joke. If you want to beat this team, you're going to have to play a complete game for 4 quarters, and you're going to have to win every aspect of the game, offense, defense, special teams, because this team just does not make mistakes. They do not beat themselves. They're efficient on offense. They're stout on defense, and they have size, speed, depth at every position. It's really a thing of beauty to see this Tri-Valley team. I know we probably didn't get the best gauge on a New Lexington team tonight because they sustained so many injuries, not just injuries to key players. And we certainly wish Tyson Spicer and Bentley Hansen quick recoveries, because they are 2 key players on this New Lexington team.
They're going to need them the rest of the year, and definitely in the postseason if New Lexington gets there. What that looks like still a shoe-in, unless there is a complete collapse here in the next 5 weeks. Tonight, you had touchdowns for New Lexington's Paul Stenson, a TD reception from Isaiah Stevens in the second quarter. Colton Mathias, a freshman, ran in a touchdown in the fourth quarter. That's the 2 Panther touchdowns tonight in the 41-14 defeat. Meanwhile, on the flip side, as we get ready to sign off, Ted, your thoughts on them as well, with Max Lyle going crazy. 3 touchdown passes. He also ran for 1. 2 of the touchdown receptions went to LaMonica and 1 to Keaton Hahn.
Yeah, just a lot of those guys you mentioned, they're just outstanding athletes. We know them all, and we've seen them play for the last several years, and they came out and flexed their muscle here tonight, as New Lexington did not have an answer for the height downfield when Hahn and LaMonica were downfield. You know, you're trying to defend a 6'3" and a 6'4" wideout one-on-one on an island. It's just very, very difficult for someone who's 5'9" or 5'10" to make up that height difference.
You have to be basically perfect and well positioned, but even then you can't teach height. And Height ended up winning out here this evening.
We saw New Lexington in good position all night, and Tri-Valley still able to make plays just because of that athleticism and height differential. You know, the touchdown late in the first half to Keaton Hahn comes to mind. It was his height and skill that was able to get him up to catch that football.
It's been great being back in the saddle with you up here on top of the booth at Jim Rockwell Stadium, my man. And, you know, hey, we don't do another game until basketball season. Happy birthday, but I know you and I will stay in touch offline as we talk high school football and other things.
Yeah, for sure.
So 41-14, your final wraps here tonight. Tri-Valley wins it on the road here at New Lexington. Tri-Valley stays unbeaten 5-0. New Lex falls to 4-1. Replay of the Fox 5 game of the week tomorrow morning at 7:30 has Meadowbrook and Philo. 3 weeks from now is our next South 60 live streaming game here at New Lex when it is Meadowbrook at New Lexington. Doug will be back for that one. Have a great night, everybody, and a safe weekend. See you next time.